We've got the music playing.
God, here it is again. It's Champions League night. It's
Here we
Newcastle. It's big time. Come on, then, lads.
It's just, do you ever get bored of that anthem? Do you know what I mean?
Nah.
Nah. Look at that pink hair by Joe Linton.
I hope
That's
that,
the look.
Yeah, I hope that's a sign of masculinity. You know, when you're just so damn beastly, you can get away with pink. That's what he is.
Speaking of beastly, Longstaff and Lascelles are playing tonight.
Big boys. Big boys. I really respect Dortmund. I think they're a proper outfit. Got lots of history in this competition. Been far in it, and a bit of a what's the word? You know, in Germany, you know, when you go to other teams, like I've been there and I really liked it.
Yeah.
So they were a bit of a second team for me. Not like I was following them, but I always admired them.
You know, some towns are like twinned with other towns.
Kind
Maybe
of.
you're twinned with Dortmund. Oh,
Sorry. Just heard that. Yeah, don't worry, got you. Just heard my own.
God, it was awful.
Yeah, that was right. That being said, tonight they mean nothing to me.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah.
Who have they got up front today? Fulkrug. You know, big fan of him.
They're actually in the top 4 of Bundesliga, and they're only 2 points off the top of the league.
There you go. They're a decent team. I mean, Bayern are third, so what?
Yeah,
the
they're
fuck's
like a
going on in
point behind
Bundesliga?
Bayern.
Yeah.
So I mean that's legit, right? Like,
Yeah. I mean, but arguably the one of the weaker teams in the group, though. Hey. I mean, they haven't been performing very well. They're bottom of the group. 1 point.
I know
after
that.
2
But
games.
before the group started, I kind of thought, by rights, we shouldn't be able to fuck with them.
Yeah.
You know, like on reputation, on history. You know, Marco Reus isn't the player he used to be, but he's still Marco Reus. You know, like I'm still threatened.
I mean, is he 80 years old? Because he feels like he's been around.
He was a
for
wonder
long
kid for the
time.
longest time, right? Shout out to the
34.
chat, by the way. Big love to you lot. Big thanks to Jessica for saying the kickoff is starting, everyone. Thanks for letting them know. Evening. How did I get the cut? I cut my head shaving my hair because I don't go to a barber shop.
Yes.
It's just easier.
We did have a quick fight before the
He
match.
bottled us.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. We're going to get on to a few other topics later today.
Few other bottle
Newcastle
jobs.
are in the huddle. We got more on the Tonali story as it unfolds. 10-month suspension by the looks of it. 2 more months than Ivan Toney.
It's not good, is it?
Yeah, remember all the people saying, "Oh, if he doesn't get the same, it's racism."
Yeah.
Well, he got 2 extra months. Does that make you happy?
I mean, it was worse than what Tony did, but you know.
I don't know if it was. No,
I was waiting for this.
I genuinely have no clue
I
whose was worse or
I mean, his was definitely worse. He literally bet on an illegal gambling website and then encouraged other people to join the illegal gambling website.
I mean, this was the thing. The narrative painted in the table was the rules are the rules. You break the rules, you break the rules. Like, I mean, whether he used a legal or illegal betting site. I mean, betting on for a footballer is just wrong. Apparently, it's just wrong.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I don't understand why. I would like an answer, like a conclusive by the authorities answer of why it was more.
Yeah.
But Joe Linton is back tonight, and for me, Newcastle at their best are when Joe Linton is playing at his best.
Yeah.
And when he's in the side. The enforcer, just full of energy, runs teams ragged.
Can we just talk about then Tonali, right? I still think you're going to have to replace him. Do you agree with that?
Well,
Like, you're going to have to find someone to fill in.
okay,
the
so the interesting thing is the comeback of Joe Linton. So previously we'd had Tonali, Bruno, and Sean Longstaff.
Yeah.
We've got Joe Linton and Joe Willock coming back, which may give us enough cover. There's a brilliant counter-attack from Dortmund here, and we do not want to see this. On it's a save, and thank God Nick Pope saved the day, but that was piss poor defending early on from Newcastle. Caught asleep. Not good enough, man. I think we might be looking at Calvin Phillips, according to a recent interview with Eddie, where Eddie Howe sort of expressed an interest in him, which is a bit of a giveaway.
I've got a few other options.
Yeah.
According to The Athletic, you've got Calvin Phillips, as you just said, Scott McTominay, who's
I'd rather
smashing it at Man United.
I'd rather not.
Amadou Onana at Everton. Very good player.
Gordon. Oh, my God.
Oh, that was a crunchy tackle. He's just that was a handball in the penalty area. If that wasn't a foul by Joe Linton, that would have been a pen. Does VAR look at this? Let's have a look. Oh, here we go.
We got the Anthony Gordon cuts inside on the right foot and has a dig at goal early. Good save by the keeper. Anthony Gordon, arguably Newcastle's best player this season.
I'm not sure if he did get the ball there. Didn't look good.
No surprise. I mean, Newcastle Dortmund, it just screams all-out action, and it's been that way for the first 2 minutes. And good to get Nick Pope to get his hands on the ball early. I mean, 2 shots on target early on. It's really good action if you're a neutral, that's for sure. The Tonali thing, I think McTominay, I don't know what it is, but I've seen so many bad performances by him that it's sort of stained my brain. And even though, he's playing well right now, it's Newcastle on the counter.
Almiron starting again.
Go on, Almiron.
Pass it to
Go on.
Such a shit
He's
pass.
absolutely horrendous footballer.
Such a shit pass.
He's such a bad footballer.
For everyone asking the time, we're on 3:02, 03, 04, 05.
Yeah.
Um,
That is shocking from Almiron. You know what, right? He's just head down. He's that kind of ignorant player. And look at how overhit that is, man. Come on.
It's considerably overhit, isn't it?
It's terrible,
Can't really forgive
man.
him there.
For a professional, you expect it to be like, all right, overhit it a little bit, but fucking hell.
I think with Tonali now though, you like I do worry about your midfield. Like you've still got the same midfield that you basically had last season. And so you can understand why people are suggesting these names. I have to say, right, I think looking at those names, I think Onana would improve your team, and the other option was Paulinho from Fulham. I don't know why Fulham would sell him. You'd have to pay a lot of money as well.
I think
but he would be better as well.
Yeah, he's very good, isn't he? I mean, I haven't seen loads of him, but when I've been watching him, he looks really good. He looks
so good.
Yeah.
And also, do you know what? You were very dismissive about McTominay, but I do think Eddie Howe would make him into a world.
You know what? I actually half agree with you. I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie got him and then just turned him into a beast, but. When I see that many bad performances, it just makes me go, can we not get someone who's actually better and then make him better?
Yeah.
Like instead of having I don't want to buy a project.
Yeah.
At this point.
I don't think.
And also, I just don't think McTominay. I think the money that it would cost to buy him wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah.
Like Man United would want 40 million because Man United have made so many transfer mistakes. They now have to make up for that.
Yeah.
This guy is a tricky little fucker, isn't he? Get into them, yes. Good tackle from Almiron, to be fair.
Emre Can has completely had like a rebirth, a renaissance at Dortmund, hasn't he? Because he was just written off for Liverpool. No one fancied him.
I think he was actually good for Liverpool as well, though. That was the thing. I don't know why he changed his mind, but I always thought he was decent for Liverpool, personally.
Yeah.
Celtic 1-0 up at Atletico. Fuck me.
I mean, if I was a betting man, I would be putting my mortgage on Atletico.
Tonali's got a fiver on that.
Yeah.
Isak was almost through.
I would be putting my mortgage.
Anthony Gordon plays out wide to Almiron.
Do you get surprised every single game that Almiron is still in the starting 11?
I get it. I mean, he runs so hard, and he's really direct, and he's really a threat. It's the technical side of his game and the thinking side of it that annoys me. But he's unique, and come on,
bang,
Tonali. Sorry,
Almiron.
Won't be saying that for much longer.
We won't be saying Tonali ever again.
Anthony Gordon just gets it, you know. He's
done well.
He gets Newcastle fans.
Yeah.
Do you know his goals and assists record this season's outrageous.
Yeah.
We've scored most goals in the Premier League.
I was about to say. And you've got the most suspected goals as well.
Yeah. We're literally the best team in the world.
I mean, Premier League is the best team.
But you know, because I know you and Joey talk about these kind of stats a lot, and it all really bodes well for Newcastle because we're neck and neck with like Man United this season. But when you look on performances, Jesus, our performances absolutely shit.
Man United have scored the most goals in the Premier League with you. Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean in terms of points, like without context, we're like a couple of points ahead of Man United in the league. They've got a win in the Champions League. You know what I mean? Like we look like we're comparable to them.
Yeah.
But when you watch the games,
yeah,
we're levels above Man United. It's just, I don't know. They've got match winners and they nick games here and there, but we're a way better side overall. We've got a way better manager.
Yeah, I think this is the thing. Like, they're eventually going to come unstuck though, because even last night, like that game, like fuck me, how the hell did they win that game?
Mate, it's so funny because me and Josh were watching. We watched the UFC last week, but we were watching Man United sort of at the same time. We were having the conversation, and I was like, mate, Man United are shit, but they've got players who put the ball in the net, and I don't know how, but they just do it, no matter how bad they play. And you sort of queried it, and then fucking Delos knocks it in the top corner. I mean, It was such a fucking funny moment.
Unbelievable goal.
And like, fair fucks, but like when your right back is bailing you out from 20 yards out, and then Maguire does it the next game, you're like, Ten Hag is a lucky manager, because the performances have been trash. Sorry to do the whole Ten Hag thing, but I'm just saying, I look at Newcastle statistically, and I think we're a better side than the league shows right now.
But also, there are just so many other teams that I just think, like, for example, you get PSG. You absolutely destroy them. Do you think Man United would be anywhere near that performance? They would have lost 2 or 3-0.
I think the key with I come up with this analogy. I did this Newcastle show just before this with some of the Newcastle lads. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
And I said, Eddie Howe, if you're talking like boxing, some fighters are just great finishers. And when Eddie Howe and an Eddie Howe side gets the bit between its teeth in a match, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Because he's a finisher. Like I remember saying at the Villa game when we scored 5 earlier this season, we will do this a lot, because when an Eddie Howe team knows you're beaten, they don't stop. They kill you, you know? And that's why in this season we've scored 4, 5, 6, even 8 in a game, you know, like, and that's his style. And I think the fans love it. Like, it's such a match made in heaven. I mean, every football fan wants a team like that. But particularly like a working class side who we're not expecting to win every game, but we're aggressive as fuck.
Yes.
And I think that if we can make it into the next stage of the Champions League, that's a massive win. Like, that for me is success in the Champions League. If we go through the group stages, because I don't think all the English teams will, to be fair.
No.
And Dortmund are on the run, and this is a great one.
Unbelievable save.
Oh, Nick Pope, you absolute legend.
Right. Now, you have said a couple of times that you may be happy with another goalkeeper. I hope you're fucking mincing your words now, because that's ridiculous. He's so good. It's so true. I've said it over and over again. I just want a goalkeeper to be a goalkeeper, and Nick Pope is so underrated. It's true.
That was great reflexes. I mean,
he saves it with his shoulder.
It's not pretty, but it's, you know, fuck being pretty. He got his body in the way of the ball going in the goal, right? That's a job.
Yeah.
Worrying signs for Newcastle, though, in reality. We have given away 3 very good chances in the first 10 minutes. If we keep doing this, they're going to put the ball in the net.
Do you know what? I didn't think about this before the game, but the way they play it is sort of like that gegenpressing, you know, German, like, or, you know, energy. It's actually very similar.
By Dortmund, right?
Yeah, very, very similar actually to a lot of Premier League teams. He goes.
Oh, that is a big foul. But Almiron gets a touch in it, and I tell you what, we could be looking at a red card there. I don't know.
Go on, Gordon, finish.
Oh, he's straight at the keeper.
Straight at the keeper. Kobel's done a very, very good save there.
This has been an unbelievable game. What a game.
Look at him celebrating down there. So
I'm gutted at Gordon, because I think he really did well to get the shot away, but he couldn't direct it into the corner enough.
It's a tight angle from there.
He's a righty, isn't he? So he hit it with his left. Credit Almiron, by the way. That was like his touch that made that happen.
Yeah, this is going to be a fantastic game of football. You can see it already. Like, even I am sure this is going to be a high scoring.
You know, so styles make fights. Styles make matches as well, right?
Yeah.
So like when Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool team played Dortmund and it was electric.
Yeah.
I feel like this is similar.
I agree. I think you and Dortmund play in a similar way, by the way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's
aggressive, counter attacking. Yeah, fast pace, and also sort of, you know, they'll score, you'll score, like this.
It's no fucking around.
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah.
I gotta respect Dortmund. Like, they've put us under pressure early. We put them under pressure. What a game!
Yeah.
The clock, by the way, 11 minutes 35, 36, 37. Sorry, we haven't got the clock on today, guys. Did Brian pop a spot on his forehead? Cut myself shaving. Thank you. What kind of spot is that big? Just to be clear.
I've had one.
That would be an operation to get rid of it.
We've all watched the TikToks of the pimple poppers. I fucking hate it. I can't.
It's gross.
My missus loves it.
Everton looking at a point deduction. Is this confirmed in any way or no?
It's not confirmed, but it's been leaked by someone that the Premier League are considering 12 points, and if they are, Everton are down.
Oh yeah, they are absolutely fucked.
Yeah. Everton are gone. If that they're not going to be 12 points clear of the relegation zone. Oh no, Isak down is not what you.
No, I'm not sure what's going on here. I don't know if he's playing games here.
Why would he be playing games?
I'm confused. Sorry, guys. We're just watching Callum Wilson warm up as Isak gets a stretch, and they're offering to get him off the pitch. We can't operate without a striker. If there's any problems with Isak, they should just haul him off immediately, as far as I'm concerned. But this is a worry.
I'm going to try and see if I can get the graphics on live. If I manage to do it, it'll be massive.
Oh, this is so fucked. This is fucked. Isak is coming off. This is really bad. We're literally down to one striker in the whole club at this point. This would be terrible.
Is Wilson on the bench?
Wilson's getting ready to come on, but I mean, this is horrendous. We can't play with 10 men against this lot. They're fucking killers.
What has he done then? Was he?
I haven't got a clue, mate. He didn't even. Yeah, just looked on the screen and he was down.
It's probably a hammy, isn't it?
So yeah, we're sort of in terms of Everton. I don't know how concrete this is right now, but it's very concerning if you're an Everton fan. I feel for them. I mean, what have they done wrong? Nothing. Shot over the bar from range here, and with Bill Kenwright dying midweek, which is another sad moment for the club. I feel for them, and it's a shame because if they just played badly and then went down, that's one thing. But to have your knees cut off in the middle of a season is fucking horrendous, man. I mean, we think we've got it bad with Tonali. Callum Wilson's come on for Isak. Worrying signs to go off that early. I mean, Wilson, is hot shot, so I'm not worried about that. But for me, Isak's the better footballer. But yeah, I've got all the faith in the world with Wilson, and I don't think it'll make a difference to this game. I just don't want to see Isak down and out for a while. Come on. Oh, Joe Linton loses the ball carelessly there, and that is not what we want. It's a switch to the left side. Get into them. Yeah, well done, Longstaff. Trippier back to Longstaff, and it's out for a throw-in. So yeah, the Everton thing, mate. Really weird situation because are they being bought out yet, or are they getting bought out?
They're getting some investment coming in, but look, they've known as a club that the FFP situation was so bad.
You can't be over 300 million apparently in debt, something like that.
Yeah,
and they've exceeded the limit over a 3-year period.
Yeah,
you can't make losses of over 300 million, I think, within a 3-year period, and they're well over that.
Yeah, and 12 points is the maximum punishment they can get. So it may not end up being that high, but they know that they've been in trouble, and they knew so much that they've signed free signings, and they haven't. Oh, Wilson was caught in two minds there. They signed, very cheap players. They haven't really spent much in the last year or so because they knew that they were in so much trouble.
Yeah, they made 40+ million off of Anthony Gordon, and
they just banked it.
Not been reinvested at all.
Yeah, they just banked it. They bought Beto, didn't they? I think they paid some money for
it. I think the harshest thing is, in the event of a relegation, you're in a situation where you've lost so much money. It's not like some clubs that go down where you can kind of reinvest quite quickly and make your way back into the league. Like they could be in even more trouble.
They're fucked. They've just built a brand new stadium. They're seeking investment at the moment to get the club bought out. They're in real trouble. So you do worry about them if they do go down. What's going to happen to them?
It was so naive, really, to build that stadium, in my opinion, because when Arsenal built their new stadium at the expense of investing in players, you know, they were a title-winning side, and they moved down the league to accommodate for that. But they were still top 6, top 4. Like, when you're a struggling side and you decide to spend less on players and more in a stadium, it's like, bro, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
It is really concerning to see what's happened to them as a club. Because for me, whenever I think about Everton, I think about them as being a 6th, 7th, you know, mainstay in the Premier League based team. And the way that they have dropped off is worrying. And like I say, if they do go down, I really do worry about about how they're going to fare. Because quite frankly, like, you look at Leicester, how well they're doing in the Championship. You look at Southampton, you know, they're struggling, and they've got a very standard setup. You know, like, young players able to come back. They run very well. They don't spend a lot of money on wages.
They're the ideal scenario, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're fucking 8th in the Championship. So you look at what Everton are going to have to do. They're going to have to get rid of all the prima donnas, you know. And they shouldn't have a lot of prima donnas, but they probably do.
Calvert-Lewin.
I mean, it's going to be. But this is the thing.
Take him in his handbag.
If he's injured again, it's going to be very difficult to offload these.
I wonder if they've got built-in contracts as well, like some clubs do, where it's a case of
relegation clauses.
Yeah, because if you ain't got relegation clauses, you ain't got a choice in getting rid of them.
I don't think a lot of them will have.
Yeah, a lot of them would have been signed before this period.
Yeah. So you worry for them, and look, I think the Premier League would be worse off for losing a team like Everton, just because they have been a mainstay and they're a Premier League team.
They're literally the mainstay, aren't they? Like, they never get relegated. That's their thing.
Yeah. So it would be a real shame. And again, you know, the City of Liverpool, to have those two teams, you know, they're like sister teams, aren't they? I was listening to a podcast the other day. They were saying that Liverpool fans and Everton fans, they just sit in the same end when you know, Anfield or Goodison Park.
Yeah, I've seen
like,
that.
They're just sister teams. So
what do you think of the so when the Tonali thing happened, right?
Yeah.
The immediate reaction, without anyone knowing anything, obviously because Newcastle are the new big boys on the block, was he deserves the same as Ivan Toney.
Yeah.
Even though the circumstances could be completely different, whatever. With Everton, a lot of people have immediately been saying, how can you deduct points from Everton and let Man City get away with 115 charges for years on end?
Man City have got better lawyers.
I did think that immediately. That was the first thing I thought is Everton can't afford the same lawyers.
Yeah.
And Man City's lawyers will hold this the fuck up. And yeah.
And also, unfortunately, the Premier League need Man City more than they need Everton. You know, that's the sad thing. Like,
weirdly, because I think the league would be so much better without Man City, personally.
But there you go. But, you know, you've got to think about the penalty.
He thought about it. Nah, he didn't give it.
They'll look at this. They'll definitely VAR this. Like, you got to look. It's all about, like, the broadcast rights. And was it Man City or was it someone else that had the problem with you signing the deal with Saudi? And it was a TV rights. They were saying it was a TV rights thing. I can't remember who it was.
Man City were heavily involved in the hold up because Man City owned by Qatar.
Yeah,
aren't they? And
Man City held up by Abu Dhabi.
Sorry, and they have a long running bit of a rivalry. Was that a penalty?
It looked like it was a clip on the heels. Absolutely. So he's done him here.
Yeah, he clipped him. Yeah, I think he deliberately left the leg trailing, but it's a penalty.
I would say
by modern standards, that's a penalty.
Are they not looking at this then? Oh wow, they're not. That's mad.
The game's fucked, isn't it, man? What do we want? Like, you know, like it's an absolute shambles. Like, how can you not look at that and go, yes, he's clipped them. It's a penalty. Boom.
Yeah. I like this question from Sam. What's better, KFC mini fillets or chicken selects from McDonald's? I mean, obviously KFC. Obviously. Surely.
Yeah, they're kind of similar, aren't they? I think I actually prefer the selects, actually.
Yeah.
Because they got a bit of spice in them.
Do you? I'm very surprised by that. Anything chicken related, I would always go KFC.
Dude,
what do you think, chap?
Usually you're absolutely right. Yeah. Time is 20 seconds, 58. I know some people are complaining about it. I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart. You know, what do you want from me?
We'll get the graphics on next time. I forgot to do it. It's my fault. Blame me.
Sorry.
We need an Everton fan on to discuss the downfall of our club. Can you suggest one?
That. I would love to have suggested because it's very hard to know which guys are the right ones.
I'd love to get an Everton fan on. I don't think
and if there's any other guys you want to suggest, feel free to DM us as well and to put people forward. the game settled down. I think Newcastle looked like the better side here, but we need to make them pay. Good ball through, and it's Almiron.
He's done it again. Can I ask you about Isak then? Like, are you absolutely screwed if Isak is injured? So say he's out for 8 weeks, you're in trouble.
Yeah, big time.
Because Wilson can't do.
Well, it's the amount of game time that we would need from Wilson. So what would happen? Here's the issue: is the third choice striker is Anthony Gordon, because Anthony Gordon played striker for England in the under-21s, and he actually did very well there as like a false 9 type striker.
Do you know who I'd give a go? Jamal Lascelles, because he can do everything else.
Joe Linton, actually.
Joe Linton would be
Joe
quite
Linton
good
used
top.
to play striker. Anthony, so it could be Anthony Gordon. It could be Joe Linton.
I'd rather have Joe Linton.
To be honest, I think we'd be looking at one of those boys, but it's a bad situation, isn't it? Wilson's just injury prone, so that would really worry me, and we do need someone to take the heat off of him.
I've got another one based on the chat here. Would you like to see a Premier League, and this could happen this year, with Borough and Sunderland in?
I would, because this is the first time where I know would absolutely batter the pair of them. I swear down.
I set that up.
I swear down though, like Sunderland fans would dread it and we'd be relishing it, and it would give a bit more purpose to the season. Previous to now, pre-Eddie Howe, I wouldn't have said that, but Eddie Howe's made for derby games, in my opinion. Like, our style, it's so combative.
Do you know what would be a good topic for us to discuss? Is like, who are the Premier League teams? Because there are teams in the Championship right now that I would consider to be absolutely Premier League teams. Like, I would class Sunderland as a Premier League team. Do you know what I mean?
It's quite interesting.
Like Leeds are a Premier League team for me.
Well, when you look at the all-time points tally in the Premier League, it does give a lot away about who are the clubs, and the top 8 is basically the usual suspects in the top. Man United, City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Spurs,
Villa be up there.
Spurs. I think the other 2 clubs outside of the big 6 are Everton and Newcastle. Ironically, we're 7th and 6th.
Yeah.
So, which is probably why we always bicker as a club between each other.
Yeah.
And then Villa are probably just under that. I think
Villa have got to be up there.
Villa
pretty
top
much
10.
mainstays. Yeah.
Yeah. Ironically, Newcastle are the ones that have been relegated out of that, but we had some great seasons, which kind of take the heat off.
Counteracted it.
Yeah, because of Kevin Keegan and Bobby Robson. Actually, Kevin Keegan recently met Eddie Howe.
Oh yeah. At
a big event in the last week, and apparently Kevin told the story about how he asked his missus what this. He looked on the TV screen and went, "Oh, Newcastle are winning 3-0 against Sheffield United," and then she went, "No, that says 8-0." And his eyes aren't as good as they used to be.
Yeah, easy mistake to make. I probably would have gone for 3-0 if I was unsure.
But the fans were loving that, like old versus new sort of thing.
Yeah, I love it.
And
legends.
Yeah, club legends. I mean, Kevin Keegan's got the highest points tally in any English manager in Premier League history, which he doesn't. Apparently, he's not relevant anymore, according to certain pundits.
Yeah,
so interesting that.
Yeah. Let's not mention that one.
Certain pundits who shall not be named. Kevin Keegan, who
Voldemort.
Managed England, Ballon d'Or winner, most points as a Premier League manager for an Englishman, not relevant. So that's... Oh, no, Newcastle in trouble. Big trouble, big trouble. And it's a good block from Jamal Lascelles. He makes Harry Maguire look shite every time he steps on the pitch.
I've got a confession to make, right? I was looking at my fantasy football team today, and I seriously considered Jamal Lascelles.
Oh, you should.
I seriously considered it. It's a shame that Botman's coming back in 2 weeks.
You know why? Because it's easy clean sheets for a low price.
It's 3.9 million. He's the cheapest in the game.
And yet he's literally guaranteed clean sheets.
Yeah.
Like, obviously not against Dortmund. I think this is a rough one today. I think we will probably concede, but our defensive record's been great lately.
Yeah.
And
even without Botman,
Trips is smashing them assisting. I bet you everyone's got him in.
He's too expensive though. He's way too expensive.
What does it say about Kieran Trippier at what, 32? Is he 33? I can't remember. To have this many assists, this many clean sheets.
Yeah.
And yet people still debate like if he should be in the England team because of how good some of the other right backs are, and fair enough. But like, fuck me, like what does a man have to do?
I know.
And the mad thing was, he was available for 10. We signed him for 10 million when we were in the relegation zone. Like Man United could have had him. Yeah. Anyone could have had him.
Anyone, yeah. I think he would do a job at Arsenal. I think he'd do a job at City.
Yep.
So like, why not?
Yeah.
You've done bloody well to convince him of this.
He's a bit of a hero, you know, amongst the fans. Like, I think Newcastle fans look at him as the best captain we've had since Big Al.
Oh, that's a real claim.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely got the love of the fans. Like,
I wonder how long he can do this for. Like, can he do it until he's 35, 36, top level?
Yeah, I really do wonder because it's such an athletic position, right back, isn't it? It's like one of the hardest positions to play.
Yeah. You can't be Thiago Silva doing it, you know.
Yeah, it's not the same.
No. Joe Linton's won it.
Joe Linton, he's won it in a good position.
Oh, Callum's held on to it a bit too long there.
It's a bit of a Raheem Sterling moment.
Yeah, now you know my pain. Now you know I'm so annoyed at Raheem. He doesn't do that much anymore.
Do you know what? I was laughing so hard. Oh, Anthony Gordon. I was watching a bit of your podcast with Joey.
Yes.
Oh, Anthony Gordon's son. Go on, lad.
Big up Joey, by the way.
Yeah, big up Joey, and and you guys were so positive after that 2-2.
Yes,
and it was fair, but I was just like mind blowing a little bit because like to blow a 2-0 lead against a team that you used to whip religiously or whatever. It's hard to take.
Context is everything.
Oh
right?
No, and I admire you both for being like, you know what? This actually shows where we're at because we played one of the best teams in the league and we held our own. Yeah. Go on.
And that's the thing. Like, you know, without the last 12 months, I don't know whether I would have considered that a success. And it literally is how much we've been battered and just haven't got any wins. So to just go there with play at Stamford Bridge with a very, very young team and perform in the way we did and basically give 2 mistakes away to concede the goals. I
outplayed them for a
really
long
proud.
time.
We did outplay them. We were way better than them. And the thing is, again, you know, I was thinking before the match, I was going, fucking hell, I'm going to be on the stream and we're going to probably get done 3-0. That was on my honest... Yeah. If I was before the game, even before I saw the team sheets, right, I was probably going to go 3-1, 3-0 loss. And we ended up, you know, 2-2 draw. It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
I think refreshing it in your head and going, look, we got a 2-2 draw against one of the best teams in the league, and rather than thinking about it was the last 10 minutes and all of that.
It was the performance for me, though.
Yeah.
It was literally, we dominated them for 75 minutes, and that's not exaggerating.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would agree that we absolutely...
And you didn't lose, which was also a possibility in that moment when the heads went, you know what I mean? It can go from bad to worse, right?
And look, Andre's just made a comment, and I have to talk about this, because... there's a lot of narrative going on that, oh yeah, Arsenal got a younger team than Chelsea, blah, blah, blah. Go look at the team that actually started the game, right? And tell me whether they were a younger team or not. In fact, Andre, I'm going to pull up the fucking data.
Got you on
Andre, I'm going to pull up the data now.
Whiskey.
I'm going to pull up the data now, mate, so I can tell you exactly what the stats were.
Where's me fucking whiskey, mate? Oh, there we are. All right, okay.
Does my drinking offend you? So the stats were Chelsea's team was 24.8 and Arsenal's team was 25.6. So, you know, look, mic drop.
Andre, thank you for chiming in. You succeeded and I applaud you. Whiskey maker. Thank you. Cheers.
The ears were in. The ears were in.
The Everton fan talking about Onana as well as in the Evertonian player Onana, not the Man United goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's so good.
But this is the thing.
So good.
I've seen him have some bang average games, but I've seen him have some absolute quality games.
Yeah.
And I am a little bit like, you know what, a big old powerhouse like that in our midfield. It's just another one where you're like, you're kind of Eddie Howe player.
He would be brilliant in the Newcastle team. Yeah. He would be absolutely brilliant. And do you know what? I'm actually really annoyed that he isn't going to come to Chelsea because I think he would be great.
Why is he not coming to Chelsea?
Because we've got about 85 midfielders. Like literally, we've got Santos, who's going to be on loan for you, by the way. You're going to sign him as a backup to Tonali. And
really? Is that the rumour?
Well, I think you could do a lot worse than signing a Brazilian wonder kid.
Mbappe has scored. Oh. Must be enjoying it, playing against an easier side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's actually looking forward to not having Dan Burn getting pocked in.
Cheers, boss. Hey.
Yeah, I really like Onana. And if we didn't have all those midfielders, we've still got Lavia to come back. We've got Ugachukwu on the bench who'd never bloody
That
plays.
Lavia one was brutal, right? You signed him and then injured straight away.
It's just a bit of a dumb signing, though. To be honest with you, we spent a fuckload of money on him. We don't need him.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a weird one, to be honest with you. We've got Cassidy on loan.
Do you not think the intention wasn't to play?
I think the intention was to sell Gallagher.
That's what I'm saying. Sorry, Gallagher's turned out to be kind of
immense,
really important for the. Some players, right? They might not be the most technically gifted player in the team, but they're what I like to call, they set the tone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joel Linton for me is in a prime example.
Joel Linton, Anthony Gordon as well. Like, they're not the one who you'd go. If someone said to me, "Who's the most valuable player in the team?" The MVP, as the Americans like to say. I'd say Bruno Guimaraes, right?
Oh, however, he got lucky there, Brian.
Anthony Gordon was treading on thin ice there. However, some players, they get it, as we say as football fans, right? They get what you want. They get what it means to the fans, and they play with like insane passion. And I think Gallagher is that for Chelsea. Yeah, he gets it. And there's no one else like him in that squad.
Yeah.
And that's why I think if you're Poch, you have to consider, if we get rid of someone who understands the identity of Chelsea, because earlier this season when we were sitting talking, I remember saying, who the fuck shows these young lads the Chelsea way? Who the fuck tells them this is what it is to be a Chelsea player and this is what it means to the fans? Gallagher is actually that guy.
Yeah.
And but we never said, when I was saying that, none of us thought it'll be Gallagher.
I thought he was going to leave.
Exactly.
I thought he was gone.
Go on, Joe.
Oh,
shocking.
That was really bad.
But no, credit. I mean, look, to me, without Gallagher, that point against Arsenal doesn't happen.
Yeah, agreed.
He's really a tone-setting player for the fans, and
it's mad that he's captain as well. It's absolutely.
What is his best position in your head?
Number 10.
Okay.
Yeah. He's best off the striker, pressing high, winning the ball up the pitch, and also he's got a very good shot on him. This is the difference between him and Enzo. This is why we at Chelsea fans were getting really annoyed that Poch was playing Enzo in the number 10 and he was playing Gallagher deeper, because they're actually way better.
Oh, we're going to score soon. I can feel it coming, but foul! That has got to be a yellow card. And in terms of Gallagher, it reminds me a bit of Longstaff for Newcastle in that sometimes the homegrown players who aren't as technical as some of the players you bring in, but technical ability doesn't equal effectiveness.
No.
Yeah, and Longstaff is effective as fuck. Gallagher is effective, and I think if there's one manager who's proven that importance of that is Jurgen Klopp for me, because I feel like Pep is a lot more lenient and he's a lot more into the technicality of players. Not that he isn't into brutal strength and pace and whatever, but I think Klopp is really good at getting the most out of those kind of players, and he really showed how important that is.
Yeah. I was listening to another podcast today, a Liverpool podcast, where they were talking about Klopp and how he's signed people like Szoboszlai, right?
Yeah.
Szoboszlai's come in, he's immediately hit the ground running and looks immense. And apparently what Klopp does is he either gets a meeting with them in person or he does a series of Zoom calls. And it's more about learning what type of personality they are. Because what he doesn't want to do is he doesn't want to get people that don't necessarily want to be there or run. He wants to find people that are like desperate to succeed.
I've heard Eddie's the same way.
Yeah, and this is brilliant because for me now, I think like so much of the modern game is like analytics. Like what's the data saying? And I tell you the one thing,
isn't it?
Yeah, and the one thing the data will never tell you is the mentality of the player. And this is when you're talking about Longstaff. You can't buy that passion, and you can't train that passion. You can't make someone run in the way that Longstaff or a Dan Burn would do for the shirt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even a Guimaraes, like he's
he
running.
lives and breathes football.
Yeah, and they love it.
Yeah, I really like that side of football isn't completely gone.
Yeah, me too. I would rather have a team of like grafters than a team of technically better, like data-specific players. I honestly would.
Lauren is saying, I think Gallagher is technically underrated.
I agree.
That is totally right. I guess the point I'm making about Longstaff and Gallagher and players like that is technicality isn't the first thing that jumps off the page about them. And for that reason...
and also, they wouldn't be the first name on the team sheet. Can we just say that?
But they should be now.
Yeah.
Because of what they bring to the table. Like, for me, a fully fit Longstaff, he is that guy pretty much, and as is Gallagher. Because once you've had that in your team, you can't go without it, despite that terrible ball from Longstaff.
Cal's asking if we're going to do another Christmas podcast. That would be fun. I always loved watching those Christmas podcasts.
Yeah, I might do, actually. Yeah. I haven't really thought about that. I've just done a 4-hour podcast today. So that's some people have got that to look forward to. We had David Icke on the podcast, so you can look forward to that, guys. What's your best Pringles flavour?
I love, because Sam's asked a few of these, so we need to go back up because he's gone, lads, what's your opinion on Greg's specific, their sausage rolls? Do you love Greg's sausage rolls?
I do. I'm not even going to lie. I'm so cliche. I absolutely fucking love them.
Do you know what my secret passion from Greg's that I love is the pizzas.
Yeah.
I love a good cold
Greg's
pizza.
Is so
Greg's.
underrated. It's the one thing about London that I'm like, there's just not enough of them around here.
There's fucking loads, isn't there? There's one on every fucking street corner.
Well,
literally.
It's not enough. David Icke was mental last time. I mean, yeah, buckle up, right? That's all I'm saying. Strap in and maybe smoke a joint or something because you're going on a ride, bucko.
Yeah. Going back to the Pringles flavour, though, the most important question of the chat. It can't be the green one. What's that? The sour cream and chive. That makes me feel ill.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
I'm a salt and vinegar dude.
Yeah, me too.
For sure.
I agree with that.
I like tangy flavours.
Yeah,
like lime sweets, like chewy, bitter. Like whenever I had pancakes when I was a kid, I'd like lemon on them. Like I love bittery flavour. So
yeah. But we won't put any lemon on the Pringles.
No, definitely not. No. Yeah. I think Newcastle can get to the semi-finals. I think that's possible. I don't think we have the squad for it though.
I think if you finish top in your group, you've got a relatively good chance of doing it. You know, you've got to finish top. That's the key thing.
Yeah, we need to avoid the heavyweights like a Real Madrid or someone like that. We need to stay the fuck away.
Yeah.
My worry is getting to the semi-final of the Champions League will without doubt, if we did that, if that was even an option, it would really not do our season well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Emre Can's just gone off injured. I think it would be too much. I don't know if this squad, like, we're handling it well so far, but like it's a very gradual impact on your season, and before you know it, like when we got to the semi-finals of the Europa League, I remember that really was tough on the squad.
Do you know what I would say as well is if you do get injuries like Isak going off,
say
you got another defensive injury as well, you'd be in trouble. You'd be in serious trouble.
Mate, absolute murder.
And that's the thing is, we experience this all the time, where it's like it's not necessarily about like the games, because like if you got a good squad, like it should be fine. It's when you get an injury and then your same players have to play every week, every match, twice a week.
And that's where the Tonali ban is brutal. And I think the thing that really pissed me off about the Tonali ban was just the way people reveled in it.
Yeah, but that goes on. That's football.
Yeah, you know what is like, I've always known that, but I've never known it the same way. So like, I've always had to endure other football fans laughing at the demise of Newcastle.
Yeah.
When we were playing badly, I've never felt that people were like jealous and that they were happy that a good player that we had was unavailable. It was very just weird feminine energy, and I don't mean that against women. I just mean like in that, as jealousy can be, it feels really strange. Where I'm like, why do you guys give a fuck? This is bizarre.
People are going to come for you more now than most teams in the Premier League,
massively.
because they're going to hate the investment, and especially if you do go and spend the money. Like you're going to be hated, and this is the thing that you have to embrace that now.
Fair.
You are the ones with the target on your backs now, because City people are bored of hating on City because they're actually like they've got nothing to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because their fan base are quite like calm.
Yeah,
they're not like a really aggressive fan base like what we have.
Yeah,
I think we'll be a lot more difficult to endure if we
there's just
start
not
doing
that many
stuff.
fans. Like you think about it, you've probably got a bigger. I would say you've probably got a bigger global fan base than City do.
I think the numbers wouldn't say that right now because
I don't know.
No, but what I mean is like on social media, I'm sure Man City, with all their money, have spent well to broaden the global footprint, right?
Yeah.
But if you just look on YouTube and go, which set of fans has got the more watch-alongs, the more passion, the more like, groups of fans doing videos and all. I mean, I'm pretty sure Newcastle wiped the floor with Man City.
Yeah.
And not that means everything, but
It doesn't mean very much.
But I mean, just
really,
the atmosphere of the ground. I think everyone knows. Like right now, I think Newcastle have the best atmosphere in the Premier League, even ahead of Liverpool. To be fair, I think when your club has that something's happening here feeling, and you already have insane fans, it goes to another level, And I think until our fans get used to the fact that we're up there, it will not be touchable. Because everything's so new and so, and I think it'll take a long time for that to calm down. If I'm being honest, anyway. But
yeah, this is the thing though. Like we had the target on our backs for a lot of years because we were that the money had come from Russia and all of that.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
People hated us. And
Mourinho definitely played up to that.
He did.
He really cemented that. In fact,
but this is the thing now. It's gonna get worse and worse for you guys.
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
even seeing people hate on Eddie Howe because he doesn't talk about the Saudi thing, and I'm like, Eddie's the least dislikable manager in the Premier League. Like I don't understand. Like he never says anything wrong. I'm like, why do you guys hate him? Yeah. But yeah, it's obviously it's a symptom of being good, right?
Yeah. Some people saying here that in Asia, Man City are a big club. It's interesting. I looked at some stuff. So basically, I used to work in sport, and we looked at the stats, and that they are very well followed. But
followers can be bought, man.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm trying to get at. Like when you see real fans in the stadium going mental, when you see those watch-alongs and the passion from real fans and stuff. You get a flavour of what how real is this? Because numbers on a screen, they're not that important to me.
And this is the thing, like you can have social media followers from different countries all over the world, but like, are they the ones that are paying for the TV subscriptions? Like, are they the ones that are buying the shirts? Like, there's different ways of classifying fans' impact, right?
Go on. Also, like I think even Man City fans would accept, like you just can't compare the two atmospheres if we're being real, like.
Yeah.
And that's the point I'm getting at, is that gives us another gear to go through of when we do have a world-class team, if that ever happens, these fans will be right there as a world-class fan base ready to go with them. Whereas for many years, no disrespect to Man City, but like they've been criticised for not having that, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that they're as bad as people say, because I think that's a bit harsh, but they're just never going to be like the most mental fan base, It's just not their style. And they've had enough success now, to be honest. Fuck me.
Yeah. I wouldn't look at the chat for a second if I were you, because there's been
I'm going to keep my eyes off, I promise you. I am very worried, though, and it doesn't look good because Dortmund have the ball. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Dortmund have scored. Slotted on the right-hand side. You were carved open there through the middle, weren't you? Not good.
We need to slow this down and watch this back. It's been a very even game, but Newcastle have had a lot more of the ball lately, and I am a bit disappointed when you look at some of the chances we had earlier on. I think we've switched off a bit in the second half of the first half.
Yeah.
There's a foul on Anthony Gordon, and it's definitely a foul. Doesn't get the free kick.
And then basically they play out from the middle of the pitch.
They play it out from there, and we're 3-on-3. It's not good.
Lascelles, not really his fault there, but there's a lot of space. Basically, it's the DM that should have been in there, really.
So Longstaff, yeah. And to be honest, Joe Linton and Longstaff were a bit late getting back, but obviously they weren't expecting to lose the ball by a foul, so this isn't good. Yeah. Someone said it's never a foul on Gordon. I mean, not really sure. If I only seen one replay of that, and he definitely hit Gordon's leg. But I don't know if he took the ball first and then the leg.
So going back to the fan bases around the world, I've just looked at some stats here. There's a ranking on footy.com of different fan bases around the world. Manchester City are 5th in terms of their fan ranking. And in terms of Asia, they are...
I'm just laughing.
In terms of Asia, they're 6th. So
Man City haven't even got the 5th best fans in the UK.
Man. Yeah. But it just shows you, like, to say that they've got a big, they should be right at the top there. They're the best team in England right now. Yeah. So there you go.
I wouldn't even say like Rangers and Celtic fans. I think they're way ahead of Man City, for example, and they're not even in the Premier League.
Yeah. Cal has said here, Brian, you'll be able to relate to this. I'm seeing my club fall apart, and all I can do is watch. What club do you support, Cal? Let us know. How do you relate to that?
Mark says, Brian, how does it feel that Rangers got to the Europa League final, beating Dortmund on the way while your team is struggling? How did you do in the champ? Oh, sorry. Forgot about that. We're in trouble here. Nick Pope is flapping all over this fucking box. Talk to each other, lads. Come on.
So, overall, do you think you deserve to be a goal down after the first half's performance?
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think they had 3 really good chances before this, and they punished us on the 4th. So I think the performance has been fine, but our finishing has been poor, and it was a good fin. Like at this level, that's the difference, right? Of like our finisher wasn't as good, and I think losing Isak has been a blow because I think Isak looked more threatening than Wilson. Wilson hasn't barely been in the game.
It's a big loss losing Isak, isn't it? Fucking hell, he's so good. Yeah. And do you know what? He would have been well up for it today against his old
I don't
team
understand how bad. Like, it must be a really bad... It must have
been a hammy. It must have been a hammy. Because he was sprinting through. It must have been something like that. Yeah. It's a tough one. This is why Champions League football is so brutal.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, you've played so well in the first 2 games. You were due for a poor performance, and the first half has certainly been poor. Now you still.
I actually think the first half has been good. I just think, as in Dortmund have been good, we've been good. Like it's been a really end-to-end one.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say we've been poor, but the second half of the first half has definitely not been as good.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can still win this game though. We're like
I agree.
The way fucking hell, man.
What do you think Eddie's going to do at half time? Do you think he's going to mix anything up?
I am worried at the lack of clear-cut chances being created currently. There's a lot of fluffing the lines in the final third.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
The referee's been surrounded by Dortmund players here.
Is this because he's just blowing the whistle for half time?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, calm down, lads.
Ah!
Right, look, it's not over. It's not over at all.
It's fucking not good enough. That in terms of finishing, man, we need to be better.
Yeah. This is the thing. Callum Wilson is known for a finisher, though. You've just got to get the ball towards him in a way that he wants it. Because I think what I've seen is you've been playing balls like to Wilson in the way that you wanted to play them to Isak, and they're different. They need different. Passes.
Wilson's a poacher, whereas Isak is a lot more of a complete footballer. Credit to Nick Pope, right? We're a goal down, and I'm actually saying credit to him because he's made some good saves there. Have you seen this new Spider-Man game?
I have. Are you a big Spider-Man fan?
I wouldn't say I'm a Spider-Man fan, but I'm like, PlayStation games are shit right now, so I might check it out.
Yeah. That would be a good game to get on PlayStation. It's optimized for the PlayStation, so that'd be good.
Yeah.
It looks brilliant. The thing that I love about it is the fast travel looks amazing. Like basically when you select another part of the thing, you just get straight in.
Yeah. You're not waiting for fucking half an hour and having to travel.
That's the thing that I hate with Starfield. I don't know if you've heard about Starfield, but that's what I hate about it.
Yeah, there's a few games that are a bit like that.
It's been Starfield was made by the people that made Skyrim and Fallout, and like I love both of those games. Story-based games, really good. And this one is just like, it's like loading screen simulator. It's like literally like loading screen.
Boom.
Go into a spaceship, loading screen. Get out of a spaceship, loading screen. Go onto a new planet, loading screen.
That,
it's like fucking hell. Like what? Yeah. So
yeah,
that, a lot of people hate it. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Fury versus Ngannou's this weekend, guys. I'm doing a live stream for that with some of the boxing lads, including Joey, actually.
Big Joey.
And there's a good undercard. I'm rooting for Ngannou to have a shock victory or just to land anything on Fury and hurt him. That'd be great. Prediction is out for that tomorrow about how I think it'll go down, what Ngannou needs to do, and the most likely way Fury can win. Or Fury, what he'll do.
I was talking to my friend about this fight yesterday, and I was just saying, can you imagine if these boxers had the balls to get into a fucking octagon and to see what would happen to them? Because like
Such a good point, mate.
Let's be honest, right? All of these MMA guys, like Ngannou, he's had to go out of his way to learn boxing, which is a dance form in his own way. It's an art form, right?
Yeah.
It's as much as it's a sporting.
Yeah,
prowess.
it's probably. I'd say, a quarter of what he's learned in MMA, right?
Yeah.
Like he's used to doing so many different things.
Yeah, and I just want to see one of these proper out and out boxers have the cojones to go and get in a ring with one of these MMA guys. Because I honestly think that Tyson wouldn't make it 3 minutes with Ngannou.
It's so funny because in my video I say, isn't it sad that we're all pretending like Francis Ngannou wouldn't beat the shit out of Tyson Fury in a real fight?
Yeah.
And instead, Ngannou, for money, is signing up to let this man beat him up in a limited form of fighting, even though we know if there was no rules, we know you'd win.
Yeah.
Like, it's so silly that they're doing that, but it's all about money. And yeah, like if it was a real fight, no rules, all of that, I'd bet every last penny I had on Francis Ngannou to destroy him and not even be a difficult fight either.
Yeah.
I think Fury would get bashed to bits within about a few minutes, like you said.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am a bit peeved about that. But in terms of boxers doing MMA, I've made a suggestion today to Misfits. Misfits are doing a bit of MMA, and I've said,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I said, look, we know what would happen if an MMA fighter fought a boxer in boxing. We know what would happen if a boxer fought an MMA fighter and an MMA and all that. But what about boxers fighting each other in MMA?
Oh, that'd be cool.
That might make it a bit different, like as in, because MMA is so different to boxing, you may get different outcomes. So like Derek Chisora, for example, is a big beast of a man, and he's big burly lad, but he doesn't have like the long reach and the height of a boxer. But if you put him against another boxer in an MMA fight and let him get a hold of them, he may destroy people who would have beaten him in a boxing ring.
Yeah, I love that.
It changes the whole idea. So I'm trying to think of ways to make that interesting, for a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
But
that'd be really good. As in, would it be pro boxers or would it be people that are training boxing now that are influencers?
I'll be honest, I was suggesting more pro boxers doing an MMA fight against each other because I don't know. I'm not against influencers doing MMA, but the point I made was, look, to learn how to box, because it's limited to just your hands, you can learn boxing in a fairly short space of time and not look terrible. But with MMA, there's so much more to it that it's hard not to look embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know if they'll do that or not.
Do you know the one I was thinking about the other day was CM Punk? Who did CM Punk fight in the UFC? Because it was a young kid that I've never seen since. Like literally, I can't remember his name. Yeah. I'd never seen him in the UFC again.
He got strangled, didn't he?
He destroyed CM Punk in a way where it was like you felt sorry for him.
That was a real. Joe Rogan basically said like they fed him to the lions, but it wasn't even the lions like the best of the best. It was just a young, hungry, competent guy called
Mickey Gall.
Mickey Gall, Mickey. And the problem is CM Punk is one of the worst natural fighters in the world in terms of like. It was really awkward because Brock Lesnar did a lot for wrestling. He got into the WWE, looked amazing, got into the UFC, still looked amazing, absolute beast of a man. And people were like, these WWE guys are legit, right? They could still kick some ass. But the reality was Brock Lesnar was a 1 in a million athlete and a 1 in a million amateur wrestler. CM Punk was just a dude.
Yeah.
And poor CM Punk had no reflexes, can't throw hands, had no power, no speed, no strength. He was an actual terrible athlete. Like, for all wrestling is full of good athletes who fly through the air, CM Punk is not actually a good athlete even in the wrestling game. And it was sad to see him just. But you know, one thing I'll give him, the guy was tough.
Yes.
He got the shit kicked out of him.
He did. And he didn't give up.
Yeah, I rate that about him. I would never look at him and say you're a pussy, because like he's not a pussy.
I don't think he's a pussy for even getting in the ring.
Exactly.
Like getting in the octagon.
Yeah, he ain't a pussy. He's just not gifted.
No.
There's no talent.
No, he had heart.
And that's the problem, is people forget, like, you need talent. And even going back to like Ben Askren and like, some guys are just not, they ain't explosive.
Yeah.
And in MMA, you need to be quite explosive.
Another one we were talking about the other day is, do you reckon if a UFC guy got in a street fight, what would he do? Would he go and, because we were arguing whether he would strike.
Who's we? Like,
I love that. Me and my mate were talking.
I
about
love
this.
the conversations that dudes have where they're like, "What would happen?
Yeah.
A shark fought a gorilla." You know what I mean?
We would talk about this though, like if a UFC fight, because UFC fighters will know that they're the best person in a fight out of the entire population, right? But what would their technique be if they actually got in a street fight? Like if a guy came for them, would they strike them, or would they just choke them out?
I've seen this a few times, and it really depends on the geezer. But one of the telltale signs that you're in there with an MMA fighter seems to be, if you go like that, and the other guy goes like that in a street fight, and then he leg kicks you, you run away. Right? If someone starts with a leg kick, he knows some real shit, bro. You don't know. Get the hell out of there. All right. So if someone leg kicks you and they're gonna hit you right around that knee, right to the side, and all of a sudden you're, oh fuck, and then they'll probably pretend to trade with you, and then they're on the floor and wrestling you and strangling you. Just leave them alone. Really.
Yeah.
But a leg kick and a takedown are the classic things I'd think, because it's just what the average guy won't do. Like trading punches is so much more. There's so much potential for the other guy to get lucky.
Yeah.
When you hit him with stuff that he's not expecting, you just remove all possibilities.
This was my argument though. I thought the UFC fighter would be more likely to just choke someone out if he could.
Yeah, I'd say that's likely. Yeah. I think you're probably bang on the money there with a takedown, bit of wrestling. We're not exchanging punches and giving you an opportunity to get lucky.
Well, my mate's point was that he was going, if you're at the back, you're choking someone, you could get chucked on concrete. Like, do you know, if it goes to the floor in a street fight, usually you're fucked. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I just think when you're dealing with experts like that, they don't make mistakes on the floor. Like, not against a guy who knows nothing. Didn't I Muay Thai clinch a guy in a bar fight in Scotland? Mate, you have a good memory, because even I barely remembered that. Peter 21 said,
that was you?
Yes, I did. I kneed a guy in the chin or nose. I can't remember where it was.
I can't imagine.
And so I had him. Let me explain, right? So I had him like this. And I had it like his head, and I pulled his head right into my fucking knee.
Oh.
And and then it was right because he was trying to throw, like, he had pool cues, and his mates were trying it on with pool cues, and it really all kicked off. And I remember I was just about to throw him into a fucking trophy cabinet or something. It was on a day where England played Scotland, and we were all out supporting England in the north of Scotland.
Oh shit!
And you know what them lot are like.
Yeah,
so it was a recipe for disaster. Talk about the game. We have been poor. I don't know if we've been that bad, mate. Maybe this is just me. I thought we started the game well. We haven't been great at finishing. But I don't think we've been our worst this season. I think Dortmund are a good side, and we're a good side. It's been back and forth. And yeah, I think we can win still. I still think we can win this, but I'm disappointed in the finishing. Like, we've been a bit fluffed the lines. And in the final third, in the second half of the first half, we definitely didn't create enough clear-cut chances. I think, again, Almiron and Gordon haven't supplied enough for Callum Wilson.
I think it's creation as opposed to finishing.
Yeah, once we start creating more for Wilson, we can win this. But it's just not been... I think losing Isak was a bit of a blow.
I think it's
so far.
Let's cross our fingers that he's fit to come back for the games coming up, because without him, you're going to be in trouble.
People asking for part 2 of that podcast. I worry about if I remember things rightly, because I probably, when you remember old stories and you make mistakes, I don't want people thinking I'm lying when I just can't remember things exactly right.
Yeah.
That's why I worry about saying things later on.
Did you do that in a podcast? That story then?
I think I must have done. Yeah. It was when I did the Confessions of a Diver, probably. Where it was all that was oh god, that was a podcast I'd take back. What are we saying? What we saying? Your fight predictions are good. Oh, thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. A lot of people don't give me credit, unfortunately. I don't get the credit. Got to give myself it. Apparently, our under-19s got beat against Dortmund. I mean, there's no fucking shame in that, really.
Not at all. Not at
all. Brian and Josh Ladd's opinion on the John Jones situation. John Jones is injured in the UFC. So he's out of the fight, and they're now going to replace it with an interim title fight. And England have actually got a fighter in that. We got Tom Aspinall fighting for the interim heavyweight title of the world in the UFC.
No way.
Which is really good. I think he's a great fighter, but he's up against a really great fighter as well. The other guy's a beast.
Who is it?
Not long. I think it's like 2 weeks.
Who's he fighting? Stipe?
No, they've rescheduled that one, and he's fighting the other heavyweight beast right now. I fucking forgot his name. It's really a kill or be killed pick and fight, like two absolute bangers. But if Tom does it, I mean, he's the guy. Pavlovich, thank you, mate. Yeah. They're showing Tyson Fury on our screen now, promoting the Ngannou fight. I mean, I feel like it's a bit of a waste of time personally, but I'm going to enjoy it for what it is.
I don't think you're going to be enjoying it for long.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get knocked out, though, is he? He's not going to get. He's Francis Ngannou.
I know.
He's not going to get knocked spark out.
But here's the issue: is he gets tired very quickly, and that's where I see the main weakness. Scores from around the grounds: PSG beating 1-0, Milan, Celtic winning 2-1.
Man City drawing against some young boys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Celtic beating Atletico 2-1's the surprise of the lot for me. Like.
Yeah, I agree. I would still put my mortgage on Atletico to win that game.
Fuck me.
What are you
no, someone's triggering us. Yeah. What do you think of the transfers now? Tonali banned, Bonds injured, fullbacks warming the bench. Yeah, shit, mate. Honestly. Shit.
Oh, he's warming up, though.
Yeah,
he's warming up 10 months.
Warming up to do a 10-month. I feel like he's gone to prison.
Apparently, UEFA were really unhappy with him playing today, or playing a part in the match today.
Really?
Apparently, they were trying to expedite the process to make sure that he wasn't involved, which just tells you everything you need to know, don't you? They're just embarrassed by the whole situation.
I've realised that he's probably going to be back by the start of next season. Like,
it's 10 months, isn't it? So like, he'll probably miss the start of April.
Do you know what it is, right? I know you're a bit of a I know you believe in the due process and abiding by the rules.
I know you don't.
No, I've got no problem with him having a ban. Like if I was being really brutally honest, if someone said to me, look, there's a number of months for corruption and there's a number of months for betting, because I see them as two different things. Like, breaking the rules is one thing and it deserves to be punished. But corrupting the game, throwing the game, influencing the game, and doing things in a dishonest way that you wouldn't have done otherwise, I think you should absolutely get whatever people think is right.
But that's what's happened.
No, but what I'm saying is there's a difference, though.
But that's what's happened.
No, but
we could have had 3 years.
No, but the point I'm making is so there's betting on football, which is one thing.
Yeah.
There's betting on football and then influencing the game so that your bets come in.
Yeah.
Which is a different thing, right?
Technically, what Tony did. Technically
what Ivan Toney might have done.
Tony handballed.
Yeah, there's an allegation of that.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, and this is just what I'm going off, let's just say for the sake of argument, Tonali was just betting and he wasn't negatively influencing the game to then have his bets come off. I would give him a few months, right? And say, look, don't do that again. And if you do it again, it's going to be a proper ban where you're out for a year, right? I just personally think that that's a more of a fairer way of doing it, because he has betted, but he hasn't corrupted the game in a negative way to influence his bets to come in.
Did you say this about Tony?
Honestly,
effectively, it's the same thing.
I can't remember. And it was funny because there was someone who left a comment on a video saying, "Oh, I bet he wasn't saying that's about Tony," and someone replied on it, "Actually, he was." Like that was pretty much the same. Now I can't remember, and whatever I said is what I said, and I don't really care, to be honest, because I can change your mind like anyone else can. And people can say, "Oh, you're only changing your mind because it's a Newcastle player," and that might well be true, but I don't think it is. But also, sometimes when something happens to you personally or your own club, it enables you to actually get a bit more of an understanding of it. Like, for example, when Tonali made this mistake, I was really angry at him. But after thinking about it, I realised, like, come on, Bri, like, how many times have you fucked up? And people look at you and go, how could you do that? And you think to yourself, how could I? You know, like, I have to have a bit of compassion with someone once you reflect on it. So, yeah, like, that is my honest opinion. And people can say, oh, you're too lenient or whatever. And that is absolutely fair enough. But I just think that there should be a completely different level of punishment for the two offences, because I do think that one is substantially worse.
Yeah.
Like, to me, match throwing is the worst thing you can do on a football pitch, aside from hurting someone really badly, deliberately or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think match throwing should be treated as the worst of the worst, and, you know, a big ban, a fine and all of that. I think gambling, if it's against the rules, yeah, do a ban, do a suspension, but I think a 10-month suspension is really a lot to me, and I feel really bad for him. Like, and a lot of people can be like, oh, you didn't feel the same about Tony, and I feel bad for both of them. Like, these are lads who have a limited time in their career, and you're in the prime of your career. If you're Ivan Toney especially, you're about to get a big move to a big club and it fucks it for you. Yeah, I feel bad for the guys because lads do stupid things, and people have a no tolerance policy. And look, if you've been a bad lad and you've been corrupt, fair play, like I say. But
I think the hardest thing about this is that you have a horse in the race, in that, you know, you're a Newcastle fan and he's a good player for you and you spent a lot of money on him.
Can I flip the script? Because that's a great point, and I've just thought of something.
Yeah.
A lot of people will have a zero tolerance policy on this until it's their club.
Yeah.
And like Joey said very well on the kickoff, it's a lot more footballers than people probably know.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people, when these scandals come out more often, Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, a lot of fans start thinking, oh shit, it's one of ours now. You know, and maybe we should rethink this, you know, and that's just a suggestion though.
Yeah.
Because when it is your player and when you've just paid 60 million for him, it's not easy to think, yeah, fuck him.
I wonder if their clubs now, as part of their recruitment process, they'll start looking in, like, there'll be an agency that collates all of this data, and they'll look into it. And
it should be one of the first questions.
I agree.
Do you gamble?
Yeah.
Question number one.
Yeah. And maybe there's part of the contract then. If you ask that question and you lie, and then you're found to be a gambler, then there's some recourse that the clubs can do, because effectively you're out of pocket. I think, by the way, there is some insurance or whatever you can do, so you won't be paying his full wages because he's been banned.
Apparently, he won't get a lot at all. Actually,
yeah,
I've heard it's not going to be a lot at all.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat, by the way. And we're on 48 minutes 49 minutes 1. And so the thing on my head, I cut myself shaving, and yeah, sorry about that.
Did Milan know is a very good question by Sam Smith.
Bro.
Very, very, very good question, because they did soften their stance quite quickly when there was interest from you, because they had said all previously to that,
not available,
not available. Yep. We'll never sell him in a million years, and I just feel that there's something there. I do worry about that, and if that's the case, then that's even more concerning.
I think most people think that they knew. And look, I mean, Italian football is one of the most corrupt football leagues.
Yeah.
And I've got to be honest, I'd be shocked if they didn't know. And what worries me is if they knew, Tonali knew. And if Tonali knew, then I would terminate his contract with immediate effect.
I think you've got to start having those conversations though, because if Tonali did know and it comes up, because obviously there's a court case going on now, so they'll know when he knew when he was gambling, when the bets were like what time they were being placed, because obviously he placed the bets. So if he was placing bets last season, he knew he was breaking the rules. And so he knew if he was going to another club that the club would be sanctioned as part of that, like i.e. he would not be able to play for them. So I honestly do think it puts into question his morality, like, you know.
Well, if he lied to the club that was buying him,
Yeah.
he's an arsehole.
Yeah.
Newcastle playing poorly in the second half so far, I've got to be honest. It's not looking good. We're looking a bit sloppy. We're looking a bit heavy-legged. And that's including Joe Linton, who hasn't played in a while. Like, I'm not impressed with this. And I'm worried that Dortmund are quite... They're doing this thing where it's keep ball.
Yeah.
And they're trying to run the clock down, and they're going down every time they touch. I thought Germans were supposed to be tough. Fucking bitches, man. Get up, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, this fucking soft cock.
I have to say, you look a completely different side tonight versus the side that we saw, or the performance that we saw against PSG. Completely different. It's been chalk and cheese.
I think there's a couple of reasons for that. I think part of the credit goes to Dortmund because they're a mentally strong team. They play in front of a proper atmosphere every week. They're not overawed by this.
Yeah.
And I thought that they wouldn't be. I was actually more worried about playing Dortmund than probably any other team for that reason, because the advantage that we have against them is sort of nullified. And luckily, it will be work the same for us when we go there.
Yeah, agreed.
Our lads won't be frightened of the atmosphere. But I think losing Isak was a big, big blow early on. He was such a good focal point for us. He was so quick and nimble on the ball, whereas Wilson doesn't even look like he's in the game. He's so isolated. He's not dropping deep to receive it like Isak does. We don't, and Dortmund have got the bus firmly parked by the looks of it, and our lads, they don't look like they know what to do. Like if when the defender's got the ball like this, you need to bring the ball forward, man.
There's not a lot of movement, is there? That's the key
No,
thing.
and when that happens, you know, it's because people are scared.
Yeah,
I hate that, but I'm very aware of it. Not the best crossing. When you see footballers who look, no way. Referee, you fucking moron. This fucking stupid bitch is fucking buying every dive. This fucking little rat keeps throwing himself on the floor. You fucking little rat. Get up, man. You fucking soft cock. This cunt throws himself on the floor.
Marlon, he's, do you know what? He's people really fancy him as a player. He seems like he's a good player.
Oh, he looks good. I mean, he's played well so far, but he's
diving.
He's throwing himself around like a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like the littlest of things, and he's on the deck like a fucking slag, man. Come on. Such a fucking...
Do you know what? There's been a lot of fouls. There's been a lot of interruptions in play.
It's happened in the second half. They've been sent out going, throw yourself around like a bunch of fannies, break play up, and make it hard for... And look, 10 minutes has gone by and we've achieved nothing.
Yeah.
So it's working. It's such shithouse tactics. And I mean, that... And then what I'm worried about is our midfield is abandoning and shit here. So when our defence is trying to bring the ball out, the midfield are like, they're backing off.
Yeah.
And what you want is someone to show for it and go, give me the fucking ball. I'm not scared of being tackled. And the lads are, come on.
Who's going to come on now and change the game for you? That's the question I have, because you're going to have to make some subs now. And I'm looking at your bench.
Can't be good, can it?
And I honestly don't think there's one game changer on your bench.
Nah.
I mean, Willock.
I would worry about Willock. He's just coming back from injury. I like Willock a lot as a player. You know, he's got a lot of ability, but I'd worry about him in the rain and playing at this high intensity first game back. I mean, look, I can only assume he's ready for it. What the fuck is going on now, man? You fucking dickhead.
Hit the ref.
This referee's a fucking dickhead.
Hit the ref. Jacob Murphy as well, apparently.
I'll take Murphy, to be fair. Yeah. Murphy had an unbelievable game last match out for some reason.
Yeah.
Someone said, Howe being exposed once again. What are you smoking? He's literally got...
I think that's a bit of banter.
He's got Longstaff and fucking Jamal Lascelles playing in the Champions League, bro. Honestly.
You said to me he was better than Maguire.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
Hands down.
Harry would disagree after last night.
Yeah. Well, God bless. God bless
Here we
Harry
go.
Maguire.
Callum Wilson. He's in. Pass. Too late.
I can't really blame him for that. He didn't have many options until it was late on. Did you watch the Man United game? Did you?
I did indeed.
Yeah, fucking terrible, wasn't it?
I did enjoy it. I mean, that penalty for them against United.
Weirdly, I was actually quite happy for Onana.
Larsson's bloody son. It was Henrik Larsson. And he just does the weakest penalty ever come
that you do weak penalties when you're bottling it under the pressure. You're worried about getting too much power in that you overpower it and blast it wide. Yeah. So he's bottled it there.
Yeah.
Almiron's getting bullied.
I was happy for both of them though as well. I was happy for Maguire.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I was happy for Onana as well in a weird way.
As much as I criticise players, I'm never like, oh, I tell you what.
What was he doing there? Why did he stop?
Longstaff should have thrown himself down.
Why did he stop?
Unfortunately, with Longstaff, there's always going to be a technical
deficiency.
Yeah, he's just not technical.
He's offside there, Wilson.
Go on, shoot!
He's offside. Oh, you've got to score that. Oh, God. We're on 56, 08, 09, 10, 11 for everyone.
I can't even believe the chances we've missed early in this game and now there.
Their goalkeeper's been immense. Though.
Oh, mate, that was a world-class save, to be fair, but we're in trouble now.
Marlon here. Wow, God, this is completely end-to-end, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maguire has more goals than Rashford this season.
I can't say I'm surprised. Yeah. Rashford's had a
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got him in my fantasy team and I fucking wish I didn't.
Yeah. The trick with Rashford and a lot of these other kind of players like that is you wait until they score one and then put them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a form player, Rashford. He's never going to... He's not going to tick over. Do you know what I mean? He catches fire and then it's on.
Young boys have equalised against Manchester City.
Get in.
1-1.
Sorry, City fans, but it's a bit of a laugh, isn't it?
Again, I would put my house on City scoring. What happened there? Did he block it? There you go. Gordon's going absolutely mad.
He gets it.
The crowds are going crazy as well. And he won a corner. Maguire's world class. I mean, look, I have to say, I did say it.
Credit to Wilson, he got the shot away. It was just a good save, to be honest. I can't really complain about the miss. What happened to Brian said? I got cut shaving, bro. Fuck off. I'm really struggling in this match. I need a fucking goal, man. It's we're not playing that badly here, you know what I mean? I feel like we're really in the game.
Yeah. I would love a big Dan Bourne header.
Oh, yes. This referee he's buying everything.
You just told him to shut up.
Bellend. Honestly, the referee's a bellend.
Yeah.
Absolute bellend.
Any worry Isak ends up... thank you for the super chat. Oh, here we go. We'll watch this corner first.
Yeah, easily.
Bang.
Not good enough. Absolutely not good enough from Newcastle. Oh, that is terrible.
Turn.
We need Almiron off it. He's just technically exposing us constantly. He's such a bad footballer, mate. He's just a bad Murphy's a better footballer than Almiron, and that speaks volumes. Fuck me. You know what I mean?
The problem is you want his energy.
Murphy's one of the least technical people I've ever seen on a football pitch, and yet he's better than Almiron.
Yeah.
Weirdly, Almiron does things occasionally where you're like, oh, that's actually good, that. Yeah. But it's like...
I have to say...
Pee-wee fucking Herman.
I know that I'm biased here, but I just do think, putting Dan Burn into the middle of defence and putting Lewis Hall on the left back would also be great for you as well.
Yeah,
You've got no attacking.
I agree,
mate. No attacking impetus on the left side.
I don't know why we've bought Lewis Hall. I don't know why we've bothered, mate.
I think it's such a waste because he's actually a quality player, and he can whip a ball in so well. Technically, he's very strong.
Yeah, with barely and when I look at him, I'm like, you are an Eddie Howe player.
Yeah,
intensity, technically gifted, and yet he's quick.
I don't get it.
We haven't seen fucking head nor tail of him.
I know. We must read out the super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. Mind Cracker.
Cheers, mate.
Any worry that Isak ends up in a Martial situation with too many injuries to ever hit his potential? Isak is way better, but no point if he's always hurt. What do you think about that?
He had the injury in his first season, and that was a bit of a pain in the arse. But then he hit the ground running immediately.
What a challenge by Shah! Unbelievable,
mate. This guy is one of the best centre backs in the Premier League.
Yeah,
cost us $3 million.
Nowhere.
And yet you couldn't even get a game under Steve Bruce. You know,
mad.
He couldn't even get in the start.
I can't believe he was there under Bruce.
It's fucking mental. Look, injuries would fuck any player, so it could happen to anyone. But I think he's 10 times the player Martial is personally. Way better. But yeah, I am a bit worried about seeing him getting knocked tonight.
Martial's just lost it, hasn't he? It's a bit of a shame when you see a player like that have so much potential. You know, when he was at Monaco, he was elite. People were backing him.
I think even for a period of time at Man United, he had moments of brilliance, you know, where you're seeing him and Rashford together up as a two.
Was it Lingard that was the three of them?
Yeah, there was a minute there where what the fuck is that? Bruno Guimaraes, man. Get your fucking shit together, will you? That's more like it. Plays at Anthony Gordon. Not a great ball, if I'm honest with you, but Joe Linton, I think I'm ready to see the back of him as well. He can come off soon. I'd sub off Joe Linton and Almiron right now. I just think they're both a bit sloppy, but I hope I'm wrong. Prove me wrong. Shocking.
I mean, that was a good ball, though, by Joe Linton.
It was decent. We got a corner out of it. I think we might have been lucky.
This is the thing, though, where we were talking about squad before the season.
Yeah.
You don't have the impact that you need off the bench. And it's the key thing. You need to go in January and you need to sign 2 wingers.
Yeah.
Minimum. And you need a winger that's almost like the player that I always liken to it, and it's relevant because of Dortmund, is Schürrle. Like, you need a player like that where it's like he could play up front. He's mainly a winger, though. Do you know what I mean? Like,
mate, this referee is absolutely against Newcastle. Like, he's constantly blowing up. Eddie needs to change this ASAP here. This is a bad game so far.
Oh, is this Adeyemi coming on? Because if it's Adeyemi, he's fucking good.
Yeah. Royce has coming off.
He played against us and he was fucking brilliant. It is Adeyemi. Oh, God, this guy is so good. I think he's only 20. He's very young. He's very, very good. Oh, Man City have got a penalty, for God's sake.
Of course they have.
We knew they were coming. I'll ask you the question. I know the answer. Would you take Martial? No.
Would I fuck?
Yeah, that's quite an easy one.
No disrespect.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Tonali's coming on. I'm really surprised at that. I mean, look, it's good for the lad, but I think we need something further up the pitch. I think that's a bit of a I think we need Joe Linton off. Fair play if it's for Tonali, but I think we need Almiron off immediately for Murphy, because Almiron is having a stinker. I don't understand why you'd leave him on. I mean, there's always that hope with Almiron that he'll do something out of nothing, but fuck me. This is really getting it's a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
The mood is slowly but surely.
Somber.
It just we're not looking like turning this around. I think that's my main thing.
Well, you got the subs coming on now. So
look at the state of that from Trippier, mate. Like, fuck me. Come on, son.
Do you know
Can't play that.
Joel Linton looks calm. I don't think Joel Linton looks gassed.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but he's also just not done anything here. I'm just waiting for him to...
Do you think they're definitely going to take him off rather than Longstaff?
I've got to give credit to Dortmund. They're such a physical outfit here that, I mean, the state of our football is terrible. Yeah. We're really struggling with... They're defending so well. Almiron will be coming off now because Murphy's coming on. Thank the fucking Lord. And Tonali is playing his last game for the next 10 months.
Can you just imagine his mental state of knowing that he's not going to be able to play?
But that's why I say the things I say, mate. Yeah. I think 10 months for placing a few bets when you haven't deliberately influenced the game for those bets to come in, and you are like every other punter in the betting shops or in the pub putting a bet on.
It was Longstaff, by the way.
10 months. It's outrageous in my opinion, but I don't make the rules, so yeah. I really hope this happens to a big Manchester United player, a big Man City player. I hope this happens to a big Chelsea player, because I think that's the only way people will start caring and actually thinking, is there a problem in football? Is this actually the right way to do this? While it's happening to Brentford and Newcastle, no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think we'll see attitudes change then. But I don't want players to get banned. I just think that's the only way it'll happen when people have a reason to get a horse in the race.
Yeah.
Ironically. Yeah. All right, good flick from Trippier. Plays inside. Terrible. And another shot. Oh, God. Seeing our player break down like this is really sad. You know, when you just look like you... What we look like right now, it's 65 minutes, 9 seconds for those wondering. We look like we could play for another 100 minutes and not score. And that is... When we've been scoring so much for fun, it's a credit to Dortmund, but it's also a real pain in the arse. We're on a chance here, though, and that is a shocking touch from Wilson, to be honest with you. Not looked great since he's come on, Wilson.
We've got another super chat here. Hello, Brian. Who would you want Newcastle to go in the next transfer window? Looking forward to the next pod. Super chat, mate. Thank you very much.
In the meantime, someone's asked Josh what team he supports. He's a Chelsea boy.
I am.
For Newcastle, I think we need a centre-back. We need a winger. Desperately.
Yeah.
Because
I think you need two.
Yeah, at least one. Oh, my God. Don't even talk about a fucking penalty here. How on earth is a player supposed to stop that from hitting his hand? Not a chance. It's a high arm anyway. And a young backup striker. A young one, though. You know, I don't mind Tonali. I don't mind Isak. And what the fuck is going on here?
Tonali's done a goal line clearance there. There you go.
But it was ruled offside late in the game. Yeah, I think a threatening winger and a centre-back would be immediate for me. Probably a central defensive midfielder. This is the thing. We've got this kid called Lewis Miley, who for some reason Eddie Howe just doesn't fancy. And, you know, I was really hoping to see more of him after him. Like, what was the point in giving him all that pre-season? What was the point? We're not playing him?
I think, unfortunately, the pre-seasons, there's so many players that are played and they'll never have a chance. That's the thing. We see it with loads of clubs. There's so many young players that get a chance at pre-season, look great, and then never get a chance. Like we had it at Chelsea. Man United played like a bunch of kids. They'll never play again for United.
Yeah,
it just happens over and over again. I mean, Elliot Anderson again for you. Another player that just is barely playing.
I actually don't rate Elliot Anderson particularly. I don't not rate him. I don't think he's bad. I just think he's an average player who, for me, isn't good enough. I've seen quite enough of him and thought, you're a passenger in this team. You're not a game changer. And for the position you want to play, like the position that Joe Willock, Joe Linton play, they can be game changers on their day.
Yeah, fair enough.
And he hasn't done that enough. Go on, you fucker.
Oh, poor pass. Oh, has he connected with Wilson? He's rolling around.
I don't think he did actually. I think Wilson tried to sell that.
Are we going to look at it?
Oh, there's a shoulder problem for Murphy.
It's popped.
Yeah, he's dislocated his shoulder.
Oh no.
Newcastle dropping like flies, and I really think the owner should look at this and think we did not prepare adequately here. Yeah. We've got backups at fullback, a winger who's out, and a fucking midfielder who's about to do a 10-month ban. This is fucking nightmare shit. This
is the thing where the financial fair play. Sometimes you just got to take the hit and just go for it. Haven't you? You just got to go.
That's the worry, though, and look, Everton did that, and look at where they are. But I think what we can look at now is all these extra partnerships that we're doing with Saudi Arabian companies, and think, well, and the Adidas deal next season, like money is coming in, so maybe the problem is if you keep spending money you haven't got yet, you're in a really dangerous position if things go wrong and you don't make Champions League or something goes wrong.
Yeah, but you've just got to take the hit now. You've just, honestly, take the hit, take the fine, take the transfer ban, whatever you need to do. Just get the players in now, because if you don't, it's going to start getting...
Someone said Man City, you look at he's going off, isn't he? We're in a mess here. This is a real bad reality check, this of the state of the club right now, of Murphy going off and...
Matty Target coming on.
That was Willock, sorry. Matty Target's coming on for someone else.
Oh, what is the point of Lewis Hall being at the club? What is the fucking point? I'm sorry.
I agree with you.
He could have come on in midfield.
I agree with you. Matty, what position is Matty? So Murphy's off for Willock. What position is Target coming on?
He's going to be left back, surely.
For who? Who for though? Dan Burn. So there you go. You've got first choice Dan Burn, second choice Target, third choice Lewis Hall.
That's a disgrace.
We've spent 35 million.
That's a disgrace.
Thank you. On Lewis Hall for nothing.
35 mil.
I mean, clearly they think he's promising.
But then you haven't even given him a chance, mate.
It's so
he hasn't
shit,
even
mate.
played
I'm completely.
He would have had more game time at Chelsea.
It's a mess, mate.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke.
He would have had more game time at Chelsea, to be honest.
This is why I kept saying, mate, it's an optional fee. Remember that.
I said to the lads on the stream tonight, this referee hasn't given Newcastle a penalty. Stake my name on it. I'm telling you now, I hope I'm jinxing with. This referee is giving Newcastle nothing. Not because that was a penalty, but he's very performative and he has no interest in. He wants to become the bad guy of this event. You can see his ego is oozing at the seams here. With Newcastle, the fact that we spent so much money on backup fullbacks, a combined amount of 70 million. We then spent another 35 million on a winger who's not going to be seen again until New Year. And Tonali, I mean, there's just so much money for so little. Like, we're getting nothing out of it.
Yeah.
You know, like, when you think of that much money and you think of, we could have signed a first teamer.
Good challenge there.
Go on, Tonali.
Well done, Tonali. Always got battered.
Oh, and the ref. Look at the referee. Did I tell you?
Yeah. He's given that.
See this shithead. He's such a panto villain. Like, we've seen referees like this in the Premier League for years, right? When they want the whole stadium screaming at them at the end. This man is intent on making sure he makes a name for himself here. Yeah. So obvious. Whenever referees are extreme with their hand
signals.
Yeah, they want the world to know. Oh, I'm in charge here.
Yeah.
Fucking dickheads.
So Man City 3-1 up. Julian Alvarez comes on in 72 minutes. He scores in the 74th.
Yeah.
What a player. What a fucking player.
Yeah.
What minute is it?
People underestimate how much individual magic of players can buy, get managers out of trouble.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that Pep is not a great coach, but like, let's not act like he hasn't been greatly helped by managing great teams every single.
Bang. Oh, be brave there. Be brave. Trippier.
Back post.
No one
terrible.
There. It's too far.
Terrible. Target. Whip it back in, son. Get a corner. Lovely. We'll take it. It's been a disappointing performance, this, but honestly, you know, the funny thing is, you know, us getting beat in this game, I'm more worried about the league. Anyway.
Yeah, you should.
Whatever happens,
you should
the league is priority for me.
Yeah, you should be. Though,
the Champions League is like, it's like a bonus, you know, like if we win, great. But the league is my number one for sure. We need to be in that Champions League every year now if we can.
But this is the thing I was saying is like, it's now all about your squad management, and that's why when we were talking about predictions before the season, that is the reason why I couldn't put Newcastle in my top 4, was purely because you have one of the weaker squads in the top 6 or top 7. And so, especially when you get the inevitable injuries, which you will get, and then obviously you have this fucking Tonali stuff, which has come out of nowhere. Then you're really
when your summer transfer window is invalid out of nowhere, it's a bit of a tough one.
Yeah.
Apparently, VAR have chalked off the City goal. I don't know how true that is.
Oh well, fair enough.
It's a real shame because Tonali, you know, looks like he has quality about him as well. So to be without that is such a
that was a foul.
Shame. We've got no chance here of scoring. I just don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening.
We're just not creating any, and that's a real indictment on the Newcastle squad. Like, why are we not creating chances?
Yeah.
Think about this, lads. Like, it's quite embarrassing to not like if we're being really honest. The majority of our chances came in the first 15 minutes. We didn't take them. We didn't get on top, and it's been flat.
When you look at who they're bringing off their bench, they're bringing on Sula. They're bringing on Reina and they're bringing on Seb Haller. Like, that is... They could all get... Those boys could get in your team. Maybe not Sula.
I mean, realistically, it's the Champions League.
Yeah,
that's going to happen. And we are the new boys, and we are the underdogs. So I think I know this is a weird thing, but there is a bit of me that, if we don't qualify for the next round, there's a little bit of me that will just be a little bit like, providing we're not in the Europa League, we might actually be better off for the long run. Like, seeing our squad drop like flies with Isak injured now, Murphy injured in the same game, like, we're just not cut out for it. Like, we just don't, like, the fact that I'm worried about Murphy getting injured, like, Murphy shouldn't even be in the squad.
He shouldn't. No.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, credit to him, he had a great game last time out, but like, he's not a Champions League level player. So that shows the Champions League came early for us. We weren't really ready for it. We were ahead of schedule. And that's great because we get the money. But it worries me in the long term of the league of, like, when you look at Spurs, top of the league, there's a reason for that. They've got one game a week to worry about.
Yeah. You've got to invest in January. It's as simple as that.
We do, but we'd also probably be... It's a weird one in that if we do go out and we don't end up in the Europa League, there may be a hint of
you can't. I don't think it's mathematically possible for you to finish fourth now.
I don't know either, but
I don't think it will.
I guess it's Europa League minimum now. Oh my God, Trippier's not having a good game.
Yeah, I think just with the results you got, I think it's unlikely. What's happened there? Just ran into him.
I can't remember the referee saying get up to a Dortmund player. This is the first for me.
It's not looking quick passing enough. It's not looking like incisive enough that you're going to get this.
I think the main problem for me is in that midfield. We're losing the midfield battle. And, it's obvious with Chelsea-Arsenal the other day that Chelsea were winning that. Look at the fucking state of Almiron. Honestly, man. Touch like a fucking pedo. Fucking dickhead. I can't keep watching a professional footballer earn this much money and not know how to just take a ball down. So annoying.
He's definitely going to be the one that gets the equaliser.
I hope I'm right. I hope I've cursed it. Yeah. I'm fucking loving it.
That's a good pass.
Lovely.
Can't target. Do something.
Oh mate, he's a championship player.
I mean, this is what I kept saying. Lewis Hall.
How is Lewis Hall sitting? Oh my God, that poor.
If I were him, I'd be fuming.
Yeah, I'd have to say to Eddie, look, if you're going to keep playing Matty Target ahead of me, cancel the transfer because I'm not up for this. Like, you know what I mean? I would literally say I'm on loan, subject to a transfer. I'm telling you now, if you bring Matty Target on ahead of me again, it's a no from me.
The only reason why I've come to Newcastle is because I thought I'd be playing more games in Newcastle.
It's fucking Dan Burn, for Christ's sake.
We're laughing about that transfer because what you've just taken headache off our hands. You're paying a good load of money for a youngster, and you're not even playing him. You're not even developing.
But the fact that we're not even developing is mental.
He will be massively regretting this decision because he could have gone somewhere else on loan and gone to Newcastle next season.
Yeah,
such a dumb move. Dumb move from him.
This guy's. I'm disappointed overall today. I thought we'd be a bit better than this, but Dortmund have kind of. It's a clash of styles, right? Like they've got a really similar style to us, like we said earlier on. But technically, we've just not been. I mean, the state of the touch.
It's that yellow card as well.
Bruno's not had a good game.
He's been a bit off it recently, hasn't he, Bruno?
He's had a good season, but today, sloppy is the word I'd describe our midfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not over. It's not over yet.
Yeah.
It's not over yet. Imagine, do you know what? If you end up even getting an equaliser in the last minute, it will be a brilliant result. I have to say.
It would. It would. Do you know the thing that's annoying me? Is
book him.
Dortmund have been metal. You know, they've been hard to break down and whatever, and they've been tough. But I don't think either team has played great in the second half.
No.
I think Dortmund came out with the attitude of, we see this out now, 1-0. Yeah. They've not been ambitious. And I'm annoyed at the fact that we've let them get away with that. Yeah. It's a cowardly way of playing football. It's certainly not the Newcastle way. When we get a fucking lead, we're trying to ramp fucking 4-0. And unfortunately, we're lacking... A lot of our style is counter-punching, you know, and playing at speed. And when there's a team like just so compact and well set up, to be fair to Dortmund, we need to move quicker. That's the only way to do this. And it's been incredibly slow, too much faffing.
What has he pulled? What is he? The ref? What has he pulled up here?
The referee's an absolute...
Yeah.
The referee's had a mate today. He's just been overall crap. But technically, Newcastle have been sloppy today. I don't know if it's partly down to... It's down to the it's pissing down and it's just a muddy game. You know, I don't know. But.
Yeah. What is he? Who's he putting the thumb up to there?
No idea. But we could play until Christmas and not score. I mean, we've been utter shit. And look, I've got to say that chance Wilson had.
Yes.
I think he should feel guilty about that.
Yeah,
it's not when you're a paid goal scorer. That's food in front.
Shit it! They're completely in here.
Yeah,
out of nothing.
Lascelles did well to get back, but they're still in trouble
behind Haller. Oh,
foul!
God,
we did well to get back there, but that was fuck me. Nick
Pope
Pope giving me fucking kittens. Yeah, what the fuck was that shit?
Hurry
up, man! You fucking slags! Honestly, Tonali. I can't wait for this band to kick in, you fucking lazy cunt. Honestly, you'll be on the fucking...
Tune. Oh, that was such a poor pass. Haller, you've just come on. You've just come on the pitch. I have to say, Adiemi, he looks good. He looks very good.
He's a threat.
He's
not done anything, but he's threatening. You can see he's a pain in the arse.
Yeah.
Mate, the slowness of this fucking... Literally, man, you're not good enough to play this floor. You're not. You fucking Real Madrid.
You've looked gassed.
Yeah.
And let's have a look
We're
now.
not. It's mad because we beat PSG. You know.
You look.
This referee is absolutely. What the fuck am I watching? This referee wants to be the star of the fucking show. Is this Lady Gaga? You fucking slag. Honestly.
Do you know what as well, mate? I think you've got a run coming up that I wouldn't envy. You've got Wolves, which it should be a win, right?
Honestly.
And you've got United, you've got Arsenal, Dortmund again, Bournemouth should be an easier one. Then you got Chelsea, PSG, United, Everton, Spurs.
Mate.
That is a fucking difficult one.
Genuinely, someone wrote my the fixtures. The next 5 fixtures were like Dortmund, Man United, all that, right? Yeah. And I remember like that might be the hardest run in world football.
Yeah.
Right now. You know, and Man United being the easiest of them. It's absolutely mental.
That's the Carabao Cup, to be fair. But still, you've got Arsenal in the league. Then you've got Dortmund again. Then you've got Bournemouth. Yeah, Chelsea, PSG. Yeah, Man United, Everton.
Throw the fucking ball, Pope.
Yeah, this is where we're going to find out whether you've got it now. This period of the season. Oh, well done, Gordon.
Man,
He's done all right.
No, it's just like Brian better equalizers for your mic. Sorry,
we're getting too excited.
Sorry. Apologies.
We just got, it was a poignant moment, guys.
It's genuinely the arrogance of the guy. Like, I'm all for letting the game flow, but he just doesn't give a fuck, man. Honestly.
Oh, red card for Atletico. Celtic could come back.
Mate.
It's 2-2 there. Ooh, bang.
We've really not threatened this keeper anywhere near enough. Pathetic in front of goal here. Good header from the... He did the right... Go on.
Come on, Lascelles. You've got to do a Maguire.
Handball.
I just didn't hit him in the eye.
The referee's not giving shit, man. Honestly, I could have a gun to this referee's mother's head and say, give a fucking penalty or she dies. He's not giving shit. He doesn't give a fuck.
I love it. It literally hits him in the chest, by the way, everyone. It literally hits him slap bang in the middle of the chest.
No way. This referee ain't give it. Like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Haaland penalty, apparently. Who was Brian's favourite footballer of all time apart from Shearer?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, good question. Good one.
Thierry Henry.
It's probably between two guys. Either R9 Ronaldo or Zinedine Zidane.
I love that.
Zidane probably edges it. Just everything a footballer should be, honestly.
Even the headbutt?
Yes, especially the headbutt.
Yeah.
That made me like him. I'm like, yeah, that baldy fuck, I'm sticking a knot on someone, chip off my old block. No, but the only thing he didn't have really was pace. He was never, and the fact that he was that good without pace showed how good he really was. Because every other footballer at some point who's been at that level, it's partially down to pace as well.
Yeah.
Like Messi was really quick, Ronaldo was really quick, all of the greats, Thierry Henry really quick, Chris Wood really quick.
I was gonna say.
But now Zidane was a graceful man, wasn't he? Big graceful bastard,
and just so cool as well. Like he just played the game. He just
off the bar. Oh my god!
Fucking hell.
Oh my god!
Was that off the bar post?
It's just not fair, lads. We've just been unlucky here. Like I think now I'm starting to feel unlucky, but yeah, Zidane lacked consistency. I'm assuming you watched him week in, week out, because every time I watched him, he was fucking unbelievable.
Unreal,
to be honest with you. People talk about big game players.
Bang.
Nobody there, mate. This is really disappointing because, as Joey said on the kickoff, Newcastle's home games are what's going to do it for them in the Champions League.
Yeah.
To lose at home, it's and you know what? I don't actually think Dortmund have been the better side, actually. When I watch this,
what this means for the group is that PSG go top, Dortmund second, you're third on head-to-heads, and then Milan are in fourth.
Oh, we could easily finish bottom. Yeah, Milan just need to win against us at St. James's.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we could still finish bottom. But you know what? Whatever happens, I'll allow that. You know what I mean? Like, we're a thin squad playing well above our level, and we've battered PSG. Like, that memory alone will never be topped for a long time for us, right? So, unless we win a trophy. So... I'm not going to complain at that. It's more the individual moments and games where we're not applying. Like this isn't a game where we couldn't have won it. We could have fucking won this, and that's the frustrating bit about it. You know, like we haven't been outclassed.
At least get a result. At least get a draw. Yeah, a draw would have been fair. That's a shame. It's a shame because if you did win this game, then you're sort of pole position in the group, really, aren't you? You know.
Yeah, I mean, there's an interesting point made by the chat. Shout out the chat. Tyler says Milan should have battered Newcastle at the San Siro, and I think that's an absolutely fair point. We got away with that. Like, we really got away with that.
I thought you played really well in that
We
game.
defended really well, but I mean, let's be real. We had one shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They peppered our goal. So, in retrospect, I think we really should have lost that one. So
Come on, Willock, drive. You've come off the bench, mate.
Yeah, that was a shit. Like, that was cowardly.
Why did he stop?
It wasn't good. And ironically, Willock is like one of the fastest players in the Premier League at full speed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stopping and going backwards from Newcastle.
Yeah, I don't get that, especially when you're 1-0 down. I don't get that at all. Yeah, this again. Tyler's made a very good point. The group it's a tough group.
Oh, I mean, mate, group of death for a reason, right? Like, when Newcastle are the weaker side in the group, you know it's a fucking good group.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think right now this is really helping us in the Premier League, weirdly, because when we go from playing a Dortmund or a Milan or a PSG, we seem to like you know, when we're playing your Brentfords and teams like that, it's like, fuck this, these are easy.
Oh, okay. You got to load it now. Load that box.
Keeper and all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if goal difference matters in the.
No, it's head to heads, isn't it? City's just the group of death. City have never had a hard draw in their lives.
Yeah, why City get fucking lucky?
Well,
man,
we won't do the conspiracy theory.
No, I'm not necessarily suggesting that, but I just think Man City, they always seem to get quite lucky.
4 minutes, it's done. If you don't score in this phase of play, it's over.
Yeah, 4 minutes for a game like this is surprising.
Yeah. Look at the ref here as well. Look at the way he's standing.
Oh, he's begging for it, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh,
good shot. From the free kick, caused the keeper some trouble. We've got a throw in here. Look, we're not getting a goal back. I think we've known that for about 40 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
We've just not looked potent in the final third at all. And ultimately, when you look at the fact that we picked Tonali and we prioritised the Tonali signing over James Maddison, I understand that there's the potential that James Maddison chose Spurs over Newcastle. That might be well true. You know, Spurs are in London, yada, yada, yada. But if that really was a decision that we genuinely made, then it's one we'll live to regret for a long time.
Yeah, massively so. I think a lot of clubs are regretting not going for him now.
Yeah. But the fact that we were in the running for him, and we wanted him for 18 months, and then that is, my God.
Who do you think is going to win the overall Champions League this year?
I think City or Real Madrid right now would be my bets.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that final.
I'd chuck Bayern in there, but
Bayern's a good shout.
Yeah.
I think last season I didn't feel like there was any threat to Man City the whole tournament. I never thought there was anyone who was going to push them, and now I do, which is nice. I don't see City winning the Champions League this season, actually. I think because the fact that they won it last season, and then there's a couple of others it's highly unlikely the same team wins it 2 years running. It's a hard thing to do that, you know. And if anyone can do it, it's fucking Pep. But
yeah. I think it's just when you look at their squad though, and you compare that to the other people in the Champions League, they are just so good. I could see them doing it back to back. I really could, and it would be such a shame if they did.
I'm not sure that they'll do a back to back. I don't look at City's team this season and think it's the same quality of the Real Madrid back to back seasons.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't think it's on that level.
Agreed. I mean, if Bellingham stays fit and he's as imperious as he's been, then you could completely understand Real going and doing it this year. But it's whether they've got the strength and depth.
Yeah, I've actually not been like blown away by City this season yet. I still think that they're like, I think letting Gundogan and Mahrez go is gonna come up a problem. In the Champions League. I think in the Premier League the overall squad quality will tell, but clutch players in cup football, they are everything. And Mahrez and Gundogan were fucking massive at that.
Yeah, and
I don't think Foden is on the same level as them mentally. Not like football ability, yes he was. Like he's a great player, Foden. But and I don't think Grealish is that guy either. Like they would turn up in that moment, you know.
Yeah. Here we go, corner coming in. Pope was up here. Target. Oh, he's gone back now. Fair enough. Come on, you've got everyone forward.
Oh,
shoot. Oh, for fuck's
sake, man, that is
sake.
So not fair. That is so unfair.
For fuck's sake.
This is so unfair.
He's not blowing up, is he? Oh, what are we looking at here? You're not looking at goal line technology, are you? What are we looking at?
Is there a question of handball before it goes onto the bar?
What's going on here? What are we looking at?
This referee is such a bellend.
Jesus. Come on.
I just feel like we deserve a draw out of this now.
Yeah.
Like after the chances.
Bang. Just bang it. Oh, for fuck.
If there's one player you don't want it to fall to, it's the fucking brain dead bastard that Almiron is.
And that's the end of the game.
1-0 for Dortmund. They are really celebrating. So, I mean, they know how big of a fucking win that is for them, and fair play. But I'm really disappointed in the final third. I think the lads tried hard. I'm not going to sit here and say they didn't give it everything they did. It's unlucky. Yeah, I said unfair. It's unlucky. I think we were unlucky tonight. I think in another night, at least the Callum Wilson strike is in. Like, that for him is absolutely easy. We didn't play terribly. I think Dortmund battled hard and they made it hard for us. They went out. I'm a bit disappointed in Dortmund because I think they went out with quite a cowardly philosophy in that second half, which is like, we're going to sit back and just defend. But that's football. And I think,
get why they did it, though. They're away from home in a very tough stadium.
Yeah.
They've got the goal. I can understand why they did it.
I'm just surprised that too often in mentally tough games, Newcastle don't score at all.
Yeah.
And this is the thing with Newcastle, right? There's a reason why we've got the best XG in the league. There's a reason why we fucking hammer teams regularly, because we're good at it, right? But there's also a reason why when the pressure's on, we score 0. And that really pisses me off, that. And it's happened away to Milan. It's happened against Dortmund. It happened against Man United in the Cup last season. It happened against Man City earlier this season. It's not just because these are good teams. It's because we're freezing. We're anxious, and mentally we're not there yet, you know. And
I have to be honest.
We will get there.
I have to be honest. The Isak injury was a turning point in the game. And I felt that if he was fit and played, I feel that you could have got something from the game. And
we've seen the difference between Isak and Wilson tonight, in that Wilson's a very good Premier League striker, but Isak can be world class. Yeah. And there's a gulf there, you know what I mean? But in terms of numbers, you wouldn't know it.
No.
But when you watch them play football, you see it, you know what I mean? So,
and I have to say, another person I want to give credit to tonight, their goalkeeper, Coble. A lot of teams have been looking at him as a goalkeeper to
he was
watch,
fantastic,
and he was immense.
Yeah,
in the game.
That Wilson save. I think Newcastle. It's times like this where we have to reflect and go, look at how far we've come. We're disappointed we've lost to Borussia Dortmund. It's still progress in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. It just feels like a big loss tonight, because we want to win these games, but we didn't play terribly.
Yeah.
You know, we played hard, we played well, but someone said Newcastle can never buy a Champions League. It literally was bought last season, mate. I don't know, like, literally, just rewind a few months. Man City bought it. They've literally done that.
Yeah, just search UCL final highlights.
Yeah,
you'll see,
115 charges at the same time, by the way, just to prove it. But I'm not actually, thinking like that at all. I think we're never going to do it that way, and that we're going to slowly but surely buy better players, but we're nowhere near that at this point. PSG have beaten Milan 3-0 comfortably.
Top of the group.
I must admit, I am scared of going to PSG. I think that's a totally different game second time round, and my worry is they're going to be motivated.
I think you're going to beat them.
Well, they're going to try and put that wrong right, though. You know, when you've got one over on a team like that, they're going to be like, right, we're going to get you back now.
Yeah, there you go. That's the final standings of the group at the the halfway point.
It looks like we're going into the Europa League, and I think that in the grand scheme of things wouldn't be the worst thing. We're probably Europa League level.
I think though Thursday night football, it's going to be shit.
It will be. It will be. And you know the saddest bit about it is, if we'd had a group like Man United we'd be in a totally different position right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not that Man United got the easiest group, but I think we're a much better side than Man United overall. But we got a really hard group, so it is what it is. I'd rather go out than go in the Europa League, just purely. Look, if I could guarantee we'd win the Europa League, would I take it? Absolutely. But it's a hard one to win. Lots of good teams don't win it, and it's going to really impact us this season. So, anyway, big love to you lot for hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. You dream about Manchester United, don't you, Brian? I dream about them losing. Luckily, it happens very regularly.
He has nightmares about Man United.
But no,
we're live on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to be live on Saturday night for the boxing Ngannou Fury, which should be a good laugh with the lads. And then Sunday, weird o'clock, 3 o'clock kickoff on a Sunday.
3:30.
Sorry, yeah, 3:30 kick-off, 3 o'clock show time.
Yeah.
Man City away to Manchester United. I think Man United are at home.
Big game.
That's going to be a really good game because I think both teams aren't playing well at the minute. And I think there's a room for an upset.
5-0 City.
No, it should be. Based on how Man United have been playing, it should be. But Man United are a funny team, man. They play terrible and scrape wins against teams they should be battering, and then they turn up against the good teams. They're a weird one.
I still think City absolutely destroy them.
They should do.
Yeah.
Anyway, big love to all of you lot. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we will see you on Saturday night for the boxing, Sunday night for the football. Bye.